It's billed as Britain's wedding of the year. Pippa Middleton walked down the aisle today, marrying millionaire hedge fund manager James Matthews. The two wed at the 12th century church in the English countryside. Her sister Kate Middleton, of course, was there, along with her husband William and their two children. Tonight, a celebrity-studded reception is set to take place at the Middleton estate just a few miles away. And Victoria Arbiter is the royal family contributor for CBSN. Okay, Victoria, this isn't quite your backyard wedding, is it? Tell us about her dress, first of all.
The dress really was stunning, but you're right, there's been a lot of anticipation building around this wedding, and it was really everybody's been fueling the rumours. But one rumour that was right was the dress designer. Giles Deacon is a British fashion designer. He worked for Gucci for a number of years before starting his own line in 2003. He was voted British Fashion Designer of the Year in 2006. So he was a wonderful choice in terms of championing British fashion. But the dress was stunning. A cap sleeves, lace gown with pearl detailing, that little cutout at the back, all made in the UK. So again, just furthering the UK label, I suppose. But yeah, Pippa looked beautiful.
Now, I'm curious. We know Pippa sort of stole the show a bit during her sister's wedding to Prince William. What can you tell us about the actual church ceremony?
Well, the church ceremony was very intimate. Again, there's been so much around this wedding in terms of what the size is going to be and everything else. But really, when it came down to it, it was an intimate family affair with very close friends. There were only about 100 to 150 at the church. After the church, they all went to nearby Englefield House for a reception. That was the first reception of the day. Pippa and James recently left in a classic open-top vintage Jag to go to their second reception, which is at the Bucklebury Manor, which is the Middleton's family estate. But I think the church service was about an hour, and of course the bridal party was made up of little dinky page boys and bridesmaids. There were 4 bridesmaids and 4 page boys, and all very sweet and very little.
And how did Prince George and Princess Charlotte fare?
They seemed to do very well. Yes, they looked quite old-fashioned, I suppose, in their makeup, but they seemed to do very well. It was only an hour-long service. They were throwing confetti when they came out, but it was quite interesting to see the Duchess of Cambridge was in charge of corralling the children. She was the one that brought them to the church. She had to get everyone out the car, and it's quite a lot looking after 8 little ones that sort of have a mind of their own. And when they came out afterwards, George, of course, was leading the charge, walking as he always does with that sort of air of, I know I'm the future king.
It is so true. It's almost like he knows he's going to be...
There's always that air about him, and I think that's what makes him so entertaining. But it was also really nice to see Charlotte this morning because she has been largely tucked away, trying to maintain their family privacy. But we got a smile from her, and she looked very sweet in her poofy bridesmaid's dress.
What can you tell us about Pippa's husband? We don't know a lot about him.
James Matthews is incredibly private. He's had a very discreet, modest life, unlike his younger reality star brother Spencer Matthews, who's kind of the wild child of the family. But James is a very successful hedge fund manager. He's a former race car driver. But what he and Pippa really have in common is their love of the outdoors, their love of Scotland, but in particular their love of athletic endurance feats. They do these epic skiing journeys together, raising money for charity, so that's to be commended. But they share that interest passionately.
And what can you tell us about the reception that's going to be on the Middleton family estate tonight?
We're expecting around 300 to 350 people there, and there's the most incredible glass palace that has been shipped in from Belgium for the occasion. It's about 140 feet long, to the tune of around $130,000.
It looks like an estate in and of itself.
It does, it does. And the Middletons live on an 18-acre estate, so in a way, what's really, it's lovely that they can do this in their back garden, but it's also a way for them to control security, make sure that there aren't any elite photographs, but also when you've got that many royals in attendance, security is really of prime concern.
And do we know who will be attending?
Well, we saw Roger Federer this morning. We also saw a British, from British Vogue, the executive fashion director was at the wedding, Tom Bradby, who's a famous British journalist. In fact, he did the engagement interview with William and Kate just after their engagement was announced. And then it was really just friends and close family at the reception, at the wedding this morning. Tonight, I think we're going to see a branch out. There'll be a few more famous names there.
We do love a good royal wedding.
We'd love a wedding, don't we? And this one was sort of royal by association, yes, I suppose, because, of course, when you've got that many royals in attendance, we had 2 future kings, 2 blood princesses. Lady Gabriella Windsor, who's the daughter of Prince and Princess Michael of Kent, was there. Princess Eugenie, Prince Harry, of course. No sign of Meghan Markle at the
I was going to ask you, that was the royal wedding I was hinting at.
Well, there's our American royalty. No, so she's going to the reception tonight. Harry was spotted driving back to London. Meghan was at Kensington Palace getting ready. He's gone to pick up his lady, and he'll be bringing her to the reception reception tonight.
Any wedding bell news on that front?
Well, you know, he could be next. That's certainly where everyone is leading to. Harry is 32, Meghan is 35. You don't date like this at this point if you don't see an end goal. And so I think reports are true. They are incredibly serious about each other. They're madly in love, according to friends. So never say never. Could be Harry next.
We look forward to it. Victoria Arbiter, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.